Good afternoon, everyone. I am thrilled today to have Tope Keku here with us. She is local to our area in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So that's fun to interview somebody who is local nearby. But she is coming to our 2025 Women's Retreat as a speaker, and I'm excited today to introduce her and talk about what she'll be talking about at the retreat. And so, Tope, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Thank you again, Lauren, for having me here today. So I am a coach, a life coach, and a certified marriage coach as well. I am a mom, a wife, and a scientist by training. So I wear many hats, but the most important is that I am a passionate lover of Jesus Christ. And my heart is for women to know him, to know how he sees them, to know their identity in him so they can walk fully in that purpose. So that's my heart.
Oh, I love that. And I believe you're an author too. Can you tell me what book you've written?
Yes, so I've written a devotional, a 90-day devotional. It's called Weathering Storms, Finding Treasures in the Ruins. And there's a companion workbook that goes with it. It's a thankful everyday journal. And I can unpack that a little bit because um, all of us go through some kind of trials and trauma in life, no matter what. And my trials and trauma started out with one challenges in my marriage, and then that went on later on to be to later on to have more challenges with health, challenges with job loss, challenges with fire that left us homeless. So it's a bunch of challenges, and out of all of that, what I found was a deeper, abiding relationship with the Lord.
Mm.
And so I found those treasures, those hidden treasures. I weathered the storms with the help of the Lord and found the hidden treasures. And so that's what the devotional is about. And one of the things that helped me through that time was gratitude. The other thing you may not know about me, Lauren, is my name. My full name is Tope. It means thank you. I'm thankful for this. And so gratitude is, for me, an essence in my heart. And so being able to be grateful to see different circumstances through the lens of gratitude really helped me to weather those storms. And so I want to encourage women as we had this our session in May to say that we can move from shame to redemption
Ooh.
and have hope and healing by the power of Jesus. And I would unpack some of those tools during that time.
Wow, I'm excited. I have lots of questions. I'm like, oh, I want to know more about this devotional. And it seems like a lot of that devotional is tied into probably a lot of what you're sharing here.
Mhm.
You're saying you went through homelessness from a house fire, and I'm like, that's a lot. But yet you're saying we can find things to be grateful for, and that helps us. So, can we talk a little bit about that? Because I'm intrigued, and I want to know more about that. I do know about the power of gratefulness, but and then I also want to know like more about too the path of redemption. Like, how, like sometimes like sitting in ruins of your home and being homeless. I'm sure that like a lot of women can relate to that. Like when your house is destroyed by domestic violence, of being like, how is there any redemption from this? This is burned to the ground. It's destroyed. Like, there's no way, there's redemption. So I got a couple of questions. I guess I'm throwing them all at you at once. So
Okay, you throw so many questions out at one time, but I can start with the homelessness. So
yes.
when on July 5, 2015, 10 years this year, we were home. I was home praying all day, just having time with the Lord, and kids were with their dad and doing different things. And about 11:30, my youngest daughter runs in, Mom, we got to get out of the house on fire. And I'm thinking I'm dreaming. And then suddenly I'm kind of like, this is real. And the next thing I know, we're all out on the street. I mean, me in my nightgown. And, we all came out and the house was on fire. And we were like, never saw that coming. And so for the next couple of days, we got help from the Red Cross, and then we got help from some anonymous donors, and then we got help from just various people. But the one thing, because I was saying to the Lord, well, January, there's a job loss. March, there is a health crisis. And then now July, there is this stuff. What is this all about? And that was about the time I started writing the devotion. I started writing it in January. So that devotional I said, yes, I will write it in January. And so then all of these things happened. And I was like, Lord, what are you doing here? What is going on? I know you, but why am I having to go through this? And I just had in my spirit, you're asking the wrong question. And I was like, okay, can you help me ask the right question? Because I don't know. I mean, we're homeless, and it's every 2 week plan. Every 2 weeks we have to move because either the donation ended and we don't know where else to go. So how are we going to do this? You put out on a 2 week plan, and you're saying I'm asking the wrong question. Excuse me, Lord, if I can be so blunt and real. And
Yep.
so he just said, ask me what I am doing in all of this. That was a game changer. That was a game changer. And so when I began to ask questions like that, he began to show me what he was doing. And within a week or so, a couple volunteered, gave us their rental home, a 3-bedroom home, for free until our home was rebuilt. So that's one of the treasures in the ruins. That yes, it was totally lost, but God came through on the other side. There was nothing I could have done to get that. It wasn't anything I did or my family did. It was just the providence and the grace of God to bring about that provision. And I could go on and on. But those are some of the things that helped me to write that, because now I was living I'd lived through some stuff, but now I was living through some of the stuff I was good to write in that devotional so that it would help people wherever they're at in the journey, whether it's in the marriage that's in shambles, whether it's in a parenting life that's, the severed relationships, or whether it's actually a physical homelessness.
Mhm.
God is always there with us. He will see us through. At the time, we can only see the ruins and we can't see nothing else. And we think it is the end, but it's really not. He brings us through. And I won't say it's easy. No, it's a journey for sure. It's a journey for sure. Yeah. But women who come to this session, they will gain hope. They will gain and they will feel empowered to connect more at their heart with the Lord and have the freedom. I said something. I asked the Lord. I was bold enough to say, I'm asking the wrong question. Excuse me, I'm homeless on the street. I couldn't ask that question before. I always felt it was rude. You didn't talk to God like that. You just were straight faced and you just were polite because He might strike you. He is God.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? During this period, Lauren, I found hope in the Psalms. David's Psalms gave words to the emotions and the feelings and the things that I was living through that I had no words for. Psalm 13. How long, Lord? How long will you forget me? And so that gave me the boldness and the courage to say, oh, okay. And then as I read more and more of the Psalms, I saw David doing the same thing over and over. Lord, you abandoned me. Where are you? What's going on here? He was really honest. And then, always towards the end, he will turn and say, but I know you are good. You are a gracious Father. So if you want to learn more about how to connect with God on that level, definitely this session is for you.
Wow, that sounds really good. I am like, oh, I want to hear more of this and like connect with God. I think we can all relate to that, like going through this and not knowing the questions to ask God of where are you? What's going on? Why is this happening? But he
Yes.
always is working and doing something and bringing beauty. And you definitely have a story
Mhm.
to tell of that as you've been
Mhm.
through those type of sufferings and losses. And so I'm excited for the women to get to hear this session
Yes.
from you. That's going to be awesome. It's called From Shame to Redemption. I believe it's
Mhm.
also next to it, Hope to Healing. Uh,
Yes.
so it's so for those who are struggling and you're just like, God, is there any good that's going to come out of this? Or what are you doing? Where are you? Why me? I would highly recommend Tope's session so that you can
Mhm.
be encouraged in that
Mhm.
capacity. And she was at our retreat last year. So many of y'all may recognize her there from last year, and she's coming back again this year. And I'm excited that you're coming back.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. There is hope for every woman. There is hope. So if you're looking, I'm just going to look in the camera and say this. If you're looking today and thinking, I'm at the bottom of the pit, trust me, I've been there. But you know what? Look up. I want to encourage you today. Look up. Look up to the hills. Look up to the sky. Where does your help come from? Your help, my help, our help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And having those grounding in that scripture helps us to not stay in that place of despair. Yes, this is where we're at right now. It's in the pit, it looks dark, but there is hope. There is hope. So hang in there. There is hope.
Wow. And I guess that leads also my first question I asked you too, as I realized, wait, I threw a fire hose at you, is that leads into probably gratefulness too. When you're in a pit and you're looking up, your focus is no longer on the pit. Your focus is on the hope and the redemption that's coming. And you're seeing the goodness of God. You're seeing the sun shining down in the pit. And you're like, okay, God,
Yes.
and I see spring up ahead. It's coming. You're going to pull me out and we're going to be in a happy field somewhere.
Yes. 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 Um, yes. As you look up, it's a shifting of the mindset. It's a shifting to look to the Lord. But you know what? As you look up, gratitude is coming. You're able to now see, yes, I'm in the pit, but I'm still breathing. I still have life. The sun is shining. You look at the star, you look at the moon, and you never look at them the same way again because you're now able to see just beyond the circumstance. Because many times the circumstances, I call them, sometimes it's false evidence appearing real, they look larger than life. Yes, it's what we're living through, and they can want to overwhelm us. But when we turn and just look up, we see the moon, we see the sun, we see the stars against the backdrop of that darkness. And we go, wow. Or even the sun against just the blue sky. Wow, there's a God in heaven, and I can have hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so good. I feel encouraged today, and I'm excited for the women that get to come to your session at the retreat, and that you're going to be there sharing this encouragement with them. It's so needed. We just all need to be reminded of these things, no matter where we are in our journey. I'm like, oh, I needed this today, just to look up and to look for the goodness of God around me, no
Mhm,
matter what's
mhm.
going on, and to keep my heart and mind focused there. And I'm like, I want to know more of your story and your devotional book. And I'm sure maybe there is other people too. So if somebody wants to connect with you, maybe like check out your devotional book, how could they reach out to you? Where can they find you?
They can find me in many places. They can find me on YouTube.
Okay.
So I am passionate about talking to parenting adult children, talking about marriage and talking about spiritual growth. So they can find me on YouTube at Hidden Treasures and Riches, HTR. They can also find me on Facebook at Hidden Treasures and Riches, as well as on my website, hiddentreasuresandriches.com. And I have a new hidden treasures. So the hidden treasures comes from Isaiah 45:3
Is it Hidden Treasures? Is and spelled out or and?
and spelled out. Yeah. Hidden treasures. HIDDEN.
And accidentally wrote healing.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
fix
They
that.
can find me there. And also I have a community for women who are facing life's challenges, where they can find hope, support, and encouragement. Because I didn't go through all of that alone. Community was very important. So they also, if they go to hiddentreasuresandriches.com, they'll find out how to join that community.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I've dropped all these links in the comments in both YouTube and YouTube and Facebook. So if you're watching, you can find ways to be able to connect with her and check out her devotional and some of her other videos and find some encouragement today. And also, I wanted to mention too that we are in a campaign right now. And so our goal is to raise $65,000 to scholarship 100 women to our He Makes All Things New Women's Retreat. And as I shared before with everybody here, the reason we do that is we want all women to be able to have the opportunity to come to this retreat, to be able to hear Tope and other speakers share things with her that she desperately needs to hear so that she can walk forward in the path of redemption and come out of the shame and come to where God has her and move forward on her healing journey for both her and her children. And so a lot of women are financially unable to come, especially our first time attendees that are just coming out of abuse. And so we like to offer them a scholarship so that we can help them get here. And so we're asking you, if you're able to be part of that, to partner with us. $650 scholarships, one woman to our He Makes All Things New Women's Retreat. And right now we've raised a little over $16,000 out of our $65,000 goal. So we ask you to prayerfully consider being part of a woman's journey of coming to wholeness and healing, and by giving her a scholarship to the retreat. And so I'll drop a link in that in the comments too before we go. And yes, Tope, is there anything else you'd like to share as we close out?
I would just like to say to women, be encouraged. God loves you. Your past doesn't define you. What somebody else has done doesn't define you. He gets to define you because He is your maker. And I wrote down a quote here that I would like to leave everyone with.
Mm.
In the hand of Jesus, our broken pieces are transformed into a beautiful masterpiece of grace and redemption. So we can find that in the hand of Jesus, He transforms our brokenness into beautiful masterpieces of grace and redemption. So be encouraged. God loves you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Tope. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing you at the retreat. And thank you to everybody who joined us today. And I'm sure you can leave comments here later, and I can tag Tope and she can come back and answer them as well. So thank you again for coming. And for all who tuned in and watched, we will see y'all soon.
Thank you again. Thanks for having me.